For over 20 years, bringing you extraordinary entertainment. This is XtrOdinary Entertainment. This is the XtrOdinary Network. Live from Atlanta, Georgia, with your host, Chris, Rachàd, Jeremy, Summer, and Najee. This is XtrOdinary Unplugged.
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another edition of XtrOdinary Unplugged. I am Christopher S. Walker. Jeremy, I think you're muted.
Hold on. Okay.
There we go.
I'm Jeremy Scott.
What's going on, Jeremy?
Nothing. What's up?
Nothing much. So we will be the ones holding it down this evening. Unfortunately, our co-hosts and counterparts are not available this evening, but me and Jeremy are going to hold it down for you guys this evening.
Well, it be that way sometimes.
So Jeremy, what's been going on with you?
Nothing much. I am so tired. I was just giving you a preview of earlier during our pre-show about like what I have going on, and let me tell you this. In spite of, I'm blessed. Some people ain't got nothing going on. Some people wake up every day to nothingness. And my life is so full. I have so many balls in the air. So I'm grateful, but I'm also I'm whelmed, but I'm nearing overwhelmed. You know what I mean?
Hey.
I'm nearing the over. So I'm just whelmed right now. But what's going on with you though? How's everything?
Everything has been good. Other than still dealing with the effects from the car wreck that I had some time ago. But other than that, I'm good, managing, and I'm still holding on, to God's unchanging hands,
Amen. Everybody was well from the car wreck?
As far as I know, yes. Except for myself, unfortunately, but
yes,
that's just where we are right now. But
well, Jesus be an insurance claim.
Look. But other than that, I'm here, and we're making strides. We're making strides, and
amen.
And through this dark time, we still must laugh and overcome. Things may be dark right now, but light comes in at the end. So we must all hold strong and stay strong. Through it all.
We shall overcome someday. Amen.
Amen. Look, we're gonna overcome again, as our ancestors did back in the day, and we're gonna make it do what it do. You ready to go ahead and jump into some of these topics?
I am. Let's get it.
Let's go ahead and get into it then. All right. And two, also, before we start off, we want to thank all of our viewers for tuning in to another edition, and also to make sure that you like, share, and follow. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe, and also to make sure that you like, so that we can continue having other people to watch our content. And also, too, if you don't mind, share and send us some stars if you want to. We always love some stars, because we all stars here. All of our viewers that watch, they all stars too.
What's the stars?
Stars, you get money from stars on Facebook.
I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, you get money on stars with stars. So yeah, just send us some stars, so that keeps us with our content going. And, we show us some love as well as we try our best to show you some love, making sure that you stay informed and, and up to date and entertain you along the way. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump into this week's topics. All right, all right, all right. So we have a doozy of a show here this evening. One of our first topics for this evening, we have we have the Orange Minister of Society, who is Trump's attack on blacks, Asians, Hispanics, women, and LGBT community as well. And then we also have Target being the latest to roll back and end their DEI program. We also have Amanda Seals, which I'm hoping that I'm showing the right person. But sometimes they say us black folks look alike, but we're gonna go and move from there. Um, we have Amanda Seals. We have Amanda Seals, who is leaving Meta platform, and she explains why she's leaving the Meta platform. And then we also have Miss Tabitha Brown, who warns about boycotting Target. This has been all over social media, and I want to get our Jeremy. I want to get me and your opinions on this. Should we band together to boycott Target and many other brands, or should we go ahead and stick together and continue supporting those said brands with the black community, in those said stores? We want to get into that topic later on as well. And then we have uh, Real Housewives of Potomac carrying Huger. I hope I'm saying the name right. Uh, in rehab, and Skip's reunion after shocking DUI video surfaces. This topic was weeks ago, but we are just now hearing about it and wanted to touch on it as well. Um, so yeah, that's our show for this evening. Uh, what's going on, Styles by Stevie? For those that don't know about Styles by Stevie, she actually has her own social media platform as well. So
Hi.
make sure,
Hi,
yeah. So make
Steve.
sure y'all support my girl, Style by Stevie. She comes on every weekday, every day during the week, at 4 p.m. I hope I'm saying that right, Stevie. I hope I'm saying it right, at 4 p.m. on Instagram. So you can follow her on her Instagram page as she comes on live, and she has some wonderful interviews. Like, she interviewed me as well a few years ago. So she is an amazing contributor. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into this first topic, and yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into this one because this one is been a shit show all for the past, what, 7 8 days he's been in office.
How many
And
days?
I want to say 8 days now. Has it been 8, 7,
It
somewhere around
feels like 300.
there?
My
doesn't
God.
it? Doesn't it feel like that?
The days are longer. The days are and scarier. My God.
Yes, yes. I mean, a constant thing. I mean, I want to say this. Right, right, Stevie, the Orange Menace. I totally agree. Somebody definitely needs to take his pen, literally. Um, but I wanted to say this though, with this topic. Every time I wake up, every single day, I'm always asking myself, what is he fixing to say or do today? And it's a constant thing, it's a constant thing of what is he going to do? What is he going to say? What right is he fixing to take away today? And it's a constant thing with me having to constantly be on edge every single day. It takes me back to 2016 of when he was in his first term, but
Hmm.
much more on steroids this time than it was the last time. What are your thoughts on that, Jeremy?
You got me spit. You got me spit mad. As we were discussing before, I do feel like a lot of I think this administration is following the blueprint of a lot of like regimes and authoritative governments
Hmm.
around the world that are just their ideology is keeping people so tired and so unfocused or focused on the wrong thing that it's going to be so exhausting that everybody is going to give up. But we will resist. And I was just telling you this too.
Yeah.
I feel like the X-Man. Like I was just saying that. I'm tired. They can't. They ain't never got no peace. The
No.
X-Men don't get no peace. They gotta fight. I feel like I've been fighting since I came out the womb. I got to fight my uncles. I got to fight my brothers. I got to fight every day. And I feel like I got to fight the government. I got to fight our own community. I got to fight this and that, the economy. It's just like, when are we going to have some peace? Are we going to
Exactly.
enter into an era of peace? And I do know that every era of peace came after an era of war.
Yep.
So we in the thick of it now. And I'm trying to keep my resistance up. But when I tell you my lids are heavy, and I think that's a lot of us. Because when Kamala lost, it really just took so much out of me.
It really
It took
did.
so much out of me. I didn't even want to digest anything political. But I am not, going back to the topic, I am not surprised that he is attacking all of these communities. Because, and then let me just break this down for you, because I
Mhm.
had to, it's a very simple poem.
Mhm.
And it said, they came for the Jews, I did not speak, because I was not a Jew. Then they came for the communists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a communist. Then they came for the trade unionists. I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. If
Mm.
we continue to ignore the needs of those around us, the ideas of those around us, the humanity of those around us, we are suffering as a community. And then by the time that these fools who think that he is all just for them, especially the poor white community in America, by the
Yes.
time they realize that this man don't have nothing for them, it's gonna be too late. There will be no one left to speak out for you, because he didn't got rid of everybody. He deporting people now.
Yeah.
Amen.
He sure
So
have.
I just think that we can't be shocked by anything that he does anymore. I just personally am not. Those are my ideas.
No, and I totally agree. Style by Stevie said, now ICE is arresting Native Americans where they do that at. Right. Where do they do that at?
Oh my God. And then I was just listening about, I said this too. The amount of mental illness that you gotta have immigration as your number one topic in America.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they criminals, then you're a criminal too. They act like we don't have access to the history. We know your ancestors lied, cheated, and killed and still stole to get this
Exactly.
land. You
Exactly.
are an immigrant. You are one of those dreamer babies that you're trying to so eloquently get rid of. I don't care how many generations it extends. You are them. You are not native to this land. And then
Exactly.
speaking of black people, like I just so we endure 400 years of slavery, then 400 years of the Jim Crow then 100 years of the separation. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like they want to marginalize that experience so much, and then just say, "Hey, now we're all equal," and nothing works like that. They offer no apology. They offer no amends from a constitutional standpoint, from a reparation standpoint. And we just are expected to just integrate, and everything is going to be fine until you do right by me. Everything you think about gonna fail. Until America does right by the black community, nothing we do will succeed, because that is our origin. That's what made America rich. That's what made them the powerhouse that we are. We didn't just offer our
Exactly.
economic benefits. We empowered this country with our intellect and our ideas and our artistry. We
Exactly.
empowered this country to be what it is. And until you do right by us, you villainize us. You tell us to go back to Africa after we build this country. We have more right to it than you.
My
I
thing is,
just
and
don't
this is my
understand.
thing too. Here's my part too with that too, Jeremy, is that how are you gonna tell us to go somewhere that we were never born, that we don't know nothing of, you know? We don't know
Hmm.
anything about that. You took us from their say land, you know?
Yeah.
You took us from there. So my thing is, at the end of the day, is how are you going to try to tell us to go back to something that we never was there in the first place? Now,
Hmm.
I would love to know exactly where my entire roots come from, so then I can't go to their safe place. I would love to be able to do that because I feel like it'd be much better than what we are dealing with right here. So,
And if
I look.
slavery was so long ago and the benefits are not in any way uh, linked back to where we are currently, then if we can link it back, then we should be able to get reparations based on that. Like if they just love to marginalize the experience of slavery, it's just awful.
Mhm,
How do you call
it is.
someone an immigrant on land you stole? I'm so
That's the
confused by
part that
that.
I'm trying. That's the part that I'm trying to figure out. How does that work? How? Like, and then for you to do what you did today by causing up a huge uproar, and you're basically trying to take away. You're trying to basically try to take away. Hold on, what Style by Stevie said. And to the Latinos that voted for him, they already crying too. Yeah, they've been crying. That's been a done deal for them. Like,
And then the White House secretary today on CNN
mhm.
called uh called the immigrants criminals. Then what that make you?
Didn't they
What
just
that
release
make
15?
you?
But
That
didn't they just release 1,500 of those January 6ers?
yeah. Let me tell you this. They could not there are no crimes that marginalized groups could commit on American soil that would ever outweigh the red ledger that the white man has in this country.
Hmm.
It just, I mean, that is historical fact. That is
Exactly.
just, that's the data. There's no criminality that could be um, placed upon any marginalized group that could ever outweigh any of that. It just couldn't.
Right. It can't. It can't. And we can go on this topic for God knows how long, but as time goes on, we're going to continue to cover as much as we can with this horrible dictatorship
Mm.
administration. Everyone, please just keep the faith, stay strong, keep fighting, and don't resist. We must never resist. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next topic. Uh, another situation. So we have Target that just became one of the latest companies to end their DEI programs, unfortunately. And this one has been a really, really, really hot conversation, to say the least. I mean, the conversations alone with this topic has been off the Richter scales, and they just fall in suit with the rest of these companies here. Some of these brands here that have ended their DEI programs as well.
I,
Um,
I mean, what I have to say about this is probably going to shock you.
mhm. Look. I'm gonna take all everything down. I want to hear it, and I'm gonna give you full floor.
I do not feel. I think that DE&I at its inception was performative. I don't think that there were any action plans or agendas that were put in place because I know personally, and I know just from looking at the structure of the companies, because you can look at DE&I and how they say they're given the opportunities and everything like that. I think it was just performative to just placate the liberals in some way because I
Hmm.
honestly have not seen much action from these plans put in place. What has
Hmm.
Target's DE&I plan in the years that it was out? What has it really accomplished statistically from a data perspective? And I'm not talking about oh we let Ty Keisha is a supervisor now. I'm talking about what structurally, from an executive level, from a level that really matters when it comes to impact, has changed. And I did a
Hmm.
little research and looked up the executives of Target, and I'm telling you, nothing has changed. Nothing has
Mm.
changed in the areas where it impacts the most. They had about, and I just want to be fair when I talk about this.
Hmm.
The chair and chief executive officer is a white man. The executive vice president and chief communications officer is a white woman. The
Hmm.
executive vice president and chief information officer is a white man. The executive vice president of chief community impact and equity officer, Kiera Fernandez, is a woman of color. But again, that doesn't exist anymore, right?
Right.
That made up title they gave her. Um, the executive vice president of chief operating officer is a white man. Um, Rick Gomez is other. Is giving white men to me. The executive vice president. What? And I'm not going down the list. I'm just gonna go white, um, Asian, white, white, white,
Wow.
Asian, Indian, white. I mean, does that feel diverse to you? If you sprinkle a
I
little
mean,
pepper in a bland dish, it's still bland. So I don't think that the commitments that DE and I were implemented for were ever going to be altruistic in their rollout. I don't think that they ever had any plan of actually including anybody of color in places where it mattered. And
right.
people often talk about, like, well, diversity, equity, and inclusion, they should have actually just hired the best person for the job. That was the problem to begin with. Y'all were
Yes.
not hiring the best people for the job, but hiring y'all cousins and the people that y'all daddy played golf with and shit like that. Y'all were hiring everybody else instead of the best person for the job. And that's why this was necessary, because people with credentials were being passed up for positions that they should have gotten, but because they weren't white enough
Hmm.
or didn't have the white connections, they were passed up. That's why it was implemented. But again, it felt performative to me. I did not see any implemented changes of impact. And I'm not talking about Taisha is now the supervisor. Because Taisha was always going to be the supervisor because Taisha run that place. Do you know how many
Exactly.
women of color are running these organizations without the title?
It's you know what? To be honest with you, there are so many, and the reason being because if you know a recent study came out about the about black women being the most educated. You know,
Yeah.
and that right there is so very true. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
our black women do the hell they try to they educate us a whole hell of a lot. And my thing is at the end of the day, as I'm looking at everything, you don't want to give them the opportunity that they deserve. Kamala Harris, to me, I'm gonna even go back to the vice president, the former vice president, a wonderful addition to the Biden administration. I love the way that she presented herself. I love the way that she would come down and try to lay out everything in such an elegant way and not such a complicated way. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
reason I'm going into this and saying it the way that I'm saying it is because there was a highly educated black woman in a position that the Republicans kept saying she was a DEI hire. No, she earned her way in. She started from the bottom in the political spectrum and worked her way up. So she earned her position. And that's why I said I'm using her as an example because she earned that position. Unlike some of these other people that work in corporate America that don't work work up to that position, they just get placed into those positions.
I
To
was
me,
just
that's
about to say that. They are
yeah.
so quick to call out somebody they think that's a DE and I hire. DE
Hmm.
and I hire. However, they will look over John's son who don't know shit, don't have no education, but y'all letting him be the chief jackass of the goddamn he fucking up the thing because his daddy is this and that. Y'all allowing this, but y'all never call those instances out. When we're working with idiots, we're actively working with idiots who should not have these roles, but they have them because they have the white connections. And how many
Exactly.
times have you been in a job or in a career and you're working with somebody who you are more qualified than, brighter than, and they are
Yep.
allowed to have a title that you should have had? It just
Hmm.
happens so frequently because they are not hiring people based on the best qualifications, as they always say. It's always some shit. It's always, oh,
Yep.
this person got this job because they know this person or this. And I'm not negating the importance of networking. What I am saying is call a thing a thing. If
You
we're
know what?
talking about DE&I hires and people getting jobs that they don't deserve, or you feel that, then acknowledge the 80% of people who are getting jobs that they don't deserve because of the connections that they have.
Oh my God, I love what you just said right there because it has always been about who you know for you to get placed into certain positions in this
Mm-hmm.
world. And you're not even the most qualified person to be in those positions. I.e., we go back to the whole entire Trump administration. None of those people have the knowledge or wisdom for those positions. But he placed them there because of who they got there because of who they knew. And that even goes back to some of these other jobs, some back when I used to work in corporate America, about some of the jobs that I had worked at. And it was based on about those people knowing the people that were in the higher positions to be able to get those positions.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, and to be honest with you, if you want to go ahead and let's talk about DEI hires, do you want to know who benefits the most from DEI hires?
White women.
And white men.
Mm-hmm.
They benefit the most. Guess who's at the bottom of the totem pole in DEI hires?
Who?
Black people. We are at the bottom. But they claim that we are the DEI hires.
You know what? I this close to putting this in the credence box. You know what I'm about to say. I
I
am this
know.
close to not lending credence to this topic because those of us with any intellect, we understand that it's performative. It always has been.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like when McDonald's, put Mary J. Blige in the Burger King, put Mary J. in the Burger King commercial. Like it's performative. They're playing to an audience that they know will enjoy this information without
Exactly.
actually ever planning on implementing anything that would matter. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I
It's
totally get it.
all like we gonna lead them to believe that we care about including people, and they don't.
No,
Yeah,
not at
yeah,
all.
yeah, and right, Stevie. It's white women have always been the biggest benefactors of affirmative action because
Yep.
they will take something that's meant to act like they're including us and giving us a seat at the table and exploit it into something for themselves. All roads lead back to their edification because, like I told you before, there is
Mm-hmm.
a silent agenda that's always been happening in politics and economics, and that is keeping the status quo. Keeping white men in power, in control, is always the underlining agenda that nobody ever talks about. They're going to do everything that they can to make sure that that underlying agenda is always being pushed in the background.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? We're gonna keep watching this because, like I said, so many other companies are also ending their DEI programs, and we will keep you
Yeah.
guys up with the latest. Before we end this
But
topic, I
can I
am
say this before we go?
yeah.
They can end it. They can end it. And I think Tabitha, just to be clear, this is the first time when I kind of necessarily did not agree with Tabitha. And as
Oh, we're gonna
somebody
touch
who
on
is,
her. We're gonna touch on her.
we missed. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, we're gonna touch on her. But what I wanted to show is everybody before we went to our next topic. So let's go ahead and support these companies because these companies do still have their DEI programs
Mm-hmm.
in place. So here are the companies right here. We have Costco, We have Meager. I never heard of this company before. Have you ever heard that one before, Jeremy?
Meyer, yep.
Meager?
They're
Mike
like
Meyer. That's what it is.
they're like a
I said me.
superstore. They're like the Midwest answer to Walmart. So
Okay.
they are very like they're a big box store. They're all over Michigan. They're all over the Midwest. I
hmm
love me some Meyer.
Okay, so you just educated me on that one. For those that are in the
Hmm.
Midwest, definitely support Meyer. Kroger, we have Kroger, which I love me some Kroger. We have Giant Grocery. We have Ben and Jerry's. We have Ulta. We have Macy's, Old Navy, Nordstrom's, TJ. Can I speak today? TJ Maxx. And go-to foods includes Moe's, Southwest Grill, McAllister, Auntie Anne's, Jamba, Cinnabon, and more. Dollar Tree also, we love us some Dollar Tree. Walgreens and Wigan. Hope I'm saying that right. I can't even see that last one, but Wigners or something like that. That's what I think that's what I said. So let's make sure that we support these brands that support us. We always want to support those that support us. So always make sure that you support those that support you or
Uh,
whatnot.
okay. Let me tell you why it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we should always support Black businesses, and we should always support people who are aiming at doing the right thing, even if it is for play, even if it is, just performative. Because I just looked up the executive leadership at Costco, who've had DE&I in place for years as well. And if
Mm-hmm.
DE&I matters, diversity, equity, and inclusion, it's about giving people opportunity at all levels and facets and forms of the business. They have had
Mm-hmm.
years to show improve, and they have yet to do it. Their director is white. Their
Mm.
president CEO is white. Their other director is white, 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 black, one black man, white, white.
Mm.
That is their executive leadership team. That is their executive leadership team. We're
Wow.
not talking about these low level opportunities or management positions, middle management that Black people are doing anyway. Because we already know that, again, women of color are the most educated. They're running these businesses anyway at a level that really matters. But when we look at the executive leadership team, the positions of impact where it matters the most, we have
Mm-hmm.
white, 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 black, white. That's that's
Wow.
that's what this does not matter. It's not impacting anything
What's going
really.
on, DJ Rick?
Hey Rick,
A- And you know what? You're so right on that too, Jeremy. Like that right there is insane what you just read to me. Like I didn't even wow.
and then this is just a song and a dance to make them give them something to shut them up. Give them something to make them believe that we doing something. Somebody somewhere, please give them something. And that's what they gave us. Because at the end of the day, I mean, we could look up. I just told you I love Meyer. Didn't I just say y'all love Meyer?
Yes, indeed.
I just told you
Yes,
I love
indeed.
Meyer. Let's take a scroll down their executive list. CEO president, white. Vice president, white. Director, white. Hold on. Director, white. Director, white. Director, white. Director, EVP, executive vice president, white. Group vice president, white. Group vice president, white, wiggly white, Indian, white. One black man, vice president of asset and protection. Oh, so y'all put the black man over stealing. Y'all, y'all think y'all slick. Y'all
They
think
do.
y'all slick. I swear. Listen, the people of color sometimes have these made up ass roles when they do join the executive team. They have
Right.
these made up ass ideas and roles, and it's just like also. a lot of these companies that input DE&I, they had no quantifiable ways of measuring how successful or unsuccessful the company was. Any rollout plan that I've ever been a part of at any major organization has had an action plan and an impact like timeline. How this is going to impact, what is the executive leadership team supposed to look like in the next 10 years? We've been
Exactly.
doing this for so many years now. Where
Hmm.
has the impact been? I apologize, but I just don't see it. And then I
Right.
know that there's been some low level opportunities given where, that should have been given anyway. And I know change takes time. But guess what?
It does.
When it come to them, it don't take that long.
And
When
you know what?
change
It's
takes
funny that
time,
you
look,
said,
when the opioid epidemic was impacting mostly white people, look at how the idea of opioids changed. Look at how the
hmm,
assistance for opioids changed because it was impacting them.
hmm,
Change ain't took that motherfucking long when it was coming to them. So
right.
I'm sorry. Where is our change?
Right. Where is our change? We want our change too.
And
Where is
I
our
would
change?
challenge you to go to any major corporation, any Fortune 500 company, and find what America looks like day to day that you're living and see if their executive leadership team reflect what the America that you know. That's what diversity, equity, and inclusion should be. Everybody should have a seat at the table, and it should be reflective in every asset at every level of the business. I would
Exactly.
challenge you to go
Exactly.
look that up and look at how white men, although white people are the majority in this country, but they are not what America looks like. Yet they
No,
hold
not at all.
the most positions in government. They hold the most CEO positions. They hold all of this power and influence, and they are not what America is.
No. And some of them are, I want to get with this. And it's not to sound ageism. You know, I know we're over time for this particular topic, but it's a really deep topic.
Mhm.
I'm not I don't want to jump into ageism, but at some point in time, you have to realize that you're old and it's time for you to move on and retire
Mhm.
because your ideals are not a part of what the new century is holding. You're not
Yep.
thinking on the same plateau as the current century. So at some point in time, you have to realize and ask yourself, darn, am I too old for this century? Am I not hip to the game of what the new school is? Should I go ahead and
Mhm.
hand this off to the next generation? Because my time has gone and come.
Yeah.
So, you have to realize, even going up into our congressmen and congresswomen, um, some of the oldest people in the room that still have not let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Rick said, I wonder what his plan is to find them for not falling in line to orders to make a threat for companies that did not follow his ruling. I'm just wondering if they are placing face but not following suit behind scenes. Well, they ain't never. That's what we were
Mm,
talking about, Rick. They ain't never followed suit behind scenes. The executive leadership team in the respective hierarchy under them, they never reflect any kind of DE&I implementing. They will give a black woman a role and say, "Look at how our DE&I program is working." That is not what DE&I is about. And this is also not about great replacement theory. You know what I say all the time, Chris.
yep.
They
Yep.
polarize us all the time. It's either white man or no white man. I'm not saying no white man should have a seat at the table. They deserve to be there too. They are a part of the fabric of America. They
Exactly.
deserve to be there. But when we have a disproportionate amount of people who work at Target, because let's look at the demographics that work at Target and power Target. I bet
Hmm.
you it's mostly people of color. Yet we look at their
It is.
executive team. We look at their executive team and it's mostly white men. I want to see the numbers because I know how these companies are fueled. They're fueled by people of color. They're low paying.
You
Let's
know,
be clear. Target don't pay well. Let's be clear. So they are fueled by all these people of color and these people in economic who need economic opportunity. But the
Well,
executive leaderships are not.
let's take a look at that, Jeremy. Let's take a look at
Yeah,
that. So we have the target executives. We have Brian Cornell. He's a target executive, and he of course is a white man.
right.
Um,
I just went through all of them with you.
oh yeah, that's right. You sure did. And
I
that's
just went
crazy.
through all of them
And
with you.
I'm sitting here looking at this all these executives, and I'm looking as I'm looking. Now tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me
But
if
do
I'm
you,
wrong. Are there any? I don't see hardly any black people in this in this executive team.
Chris? Didn't I just? I literally just said that to you. I
I'm talking
literally
about
just
as
went
I'm
through
looking at
there
these
with you.
pictures, like these company pictures, and I'm looking at it, I'm like,
Now, this information is also on their. This information is also on their website. So
mm-hmm.
I would thank you to to look at it. They be telling on their motherfucking self. I'm telling you, they be telling on their self. So I just went through all the executives at Target, all of them white men, and we have less than 10% of that team in the executives are people of color. Yet we look at their demographics that they just posted from 2023, their workforce demographics that they have on
Mm-hmm.
their website. Their leadership team, the total is 56% women, 43% man. That's
Mm,
the total of everybody who works there. Non-managers is 56% females, the same number, 43% man. So it's more women there. Yet there were only two
wow,
women on the executive board. Let's be clear. There were
wow.
only two women on the executive board. Let's go through their managers also. 56% with the same numbers. The same numbers. So their officers, 52% male, 47% female. Leadership team, 50 and 50, male and
Mm,
female. But let's get down to some good shit. The board of directors, 33% female, 67% male, even though women outnumber them at the company. Make
mm,
that make sense. Let's get to the racial ethnic diversity output numbers for Target. White people, 43%. People of color, 56%. So you telling me that
hmm.
56% of the people who work at your company, none
Right,
of them had the prowess, the education, or experience to be included in the leadership team. You're telling me that 1% of the executive team, even though they make up half of your fucking company, more than half, none of them had the prowess and the education and experience to be included in that forum, in that platform at your company. It makes
right.
no sense. It makes
It's
no sense
mind
because
boggling.
DE&I is not a real thing. It does not work. It is not working. It is performative
No,
at best. And sometimes I want somebody to play in my face. At least when you play in my face, I can bring up numbers like this that show that you full of shit. And
right.
you honor the commitment because the commitment is what matters. If
Mm-hmm.
56% of people at this entire company are women, how is less than 30% of those people on the executive team? What do those numbers say about your company?
Speaks volumes, actually. Lets me know that you are not an equally based company and you're not about inclusion.
It lets us know that you was playing in our face. It
Yeah.
lets us know that DE&I never mattered to you. It was never, it was about the performance of it. You know, a lot of liberal people fuck with Target. You know, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people of color make Target what it is. So
Yep.
you were playing to your audience, which I'm not mad about. However, put your money where your mouth is. Put your pussy on live. I'll give you a minute. Little pussy. But to me, it says what's really happening, and I want us to not be disillusioned by the idea of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Those are ideas. They do not
Right.
hold action or power. What matters is what comes behind the idea. What's the
Mm-hmm.
action plan? What's the timeline of execution? What does diversity, equity, inclusion look like within the last 10 years? The next 10
Exactly.
years? Because you've
Exactly.
implemented it for almost, what was it, 6 years or so, Target, since this has been a
Mm-hmm.
thing. And your
Mm-hmm.
numbers do not reflect that you've been doing anything. So
At
get
all.
rid of the shit. You weren't doing nothing with it anyway.
That's why some people, to be honest with you, and we're gonna go ahead and move on from this. That's why some people were saying that they're glad that it ended because they said it wasn't benefiting them in the first place.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you. These companies want you to believe that they are liberal and they're giving people a seat at the table and yada yada and yakety yak. When really, in actuality, they still shitting on everybody.
Right. And that's really what's going on. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next topic. And our next one is Amanda Seals says that she is leaving Meta platforms. Now, in this one, I'm gonna be honest with you. I I'm a person that I agree to a certain degree with this, but I do want to hear it. I'm gonna let her sing in her words. This is just a little bit of what she said, and we're gonna go ahead and touch on it after we listen to what she had to say or whatnot on this. So let's roll it. Let me go ahead and find it. Up, up, up. There we go.
Okay, so I can show you better than I can tell you. So I'm gonna lose money,
I still can't hear it. Let me
considerable
turn on the
money
line.
by leaving Meta. I'm gonna lose considerable money because I lose considerable
So I'm gonna put it on
access
here.
to folks who have been following me
Mm-hmm.
for quite a long time. I would rather not lose my integrity.
I can't hear you. Are you talking, Chris?
No, I wasn't. I the video was playing at that time.
Okay.
And I agree with what she said about her saying that she was not going to lose her integrity by continuing being on a platform that was not supporting the rest of America, pretty much per se.
hmm
You're only supporting one demographic or one group of people, the 1%. You're not supporting the rest of America as a whole. And that's the reason why I agree with her with the Mark Zuckerberg situation of why she wanted to leave, just like how we boycotted Twitter, now X.
Yeah.
Now I see exactly what she mean by that. She's actually taking a risk because she has built a following. She's built a base on Facebook. She's actually getting monetization from Facebook as well. So with her leaving Instagram and Facebook, she's losing out of money, and that says a lot. That she is, again, she's looking at her morals and values, kind of like what we talked about last week, Jeremy. We was talking about how Rick Ross and Snoop Dogg and Soldier Boy and Nelly performed at Trump's inauguration.
hmm
Again, this goes back to your morals and your values, and people are not fixing to just give up their morals and values because of a dollar. Again, not all money is good money, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's just the way I am. I'm not that hard up for a dollar to just take it from whoever, even if they are against everything that I stand for. I refuse to do that.
I agree with you. And that's what we were talking about last week too. Here's what I say. It doesn't matter, Amanda. It doesn't matter. And I like Amanda Seals. I think we need voices like her. It's
Hmm.
kind of like somebody saying, I'm boycotting going to the stage. I'm boycotting going to the forum. That's where everybody is.
Right.
Whether you like it or not, that's where everybody is. And there's two things that could happen. One of them is very unlikely, and the other one is just like I mean, ideal, but we don't live in a Disney movie.
Right.
She leaves the meta platforms. No one knows. No one notices. Things go on as normal. She
Right.
missing out on money, and we're missing out on her voice being educating and implementing ideas. And there's a lot of things that could happen. And
Hmm.
then there's the other thing that her leaving inspires other people to leave, and Meta feels the impact of that. I do not
Exactly.
think that Amanda has that kind of influence. I
Right.
don't think that she does. I don't think that this is the play because we need voices like hers, and she needs the platforms. I
Right.
don't. I don't. I don't know what we should do because it's such a complex issue. I
Now,
want to
I
do
did like
something.
what she said, Jeremy. I did like what she said in the video. She said that she was taking her platform to Blue Sky and to other platforms that are in supportive of
Ain't
American
nobody up there.
humor.
Ain't
Have
nobody up there.
you have a
Ain't
Blue
nobody
Sky
in the
now?
sky. Ain't nobody in the sky. People is on the meta, and I'm sorry. You have to go where the people are.
Hmm.
That's what it is. And I really love Amanda Seals. I love how outspoken she is. I love how educated and articulate and eloquent and beautiful. And we need her, but we need her to be where the people are.
Exactly.
This is not going to do anything.
Right. My thing is, I look at it. I look at it in two different ways. I love the fact that she's holding true to her morals and values. I love that. I do.
Mhm.
And then I look at it from the business standpoint, like what you just said. And I'm looking at it kind of like how we're still here on using the Meta platform, and also YouTube as well. But we can't sit here and try to transition over and take a platform with us if everybody else is not willing to migrate as well. We don't have the like you said, we don't have the the power to be able to move people like Taylor Swift and Beyonce and all of the people. Now, if they move the platform, those people are gonna they have the power to do so.
Yeah. And then I don't even think that they have the power. It
Hmm.
has to be a collective shifting of the minds.
Hmm.
And it takes inciting them. Think like Amanda. It takes an idea to be incited, like Amanda's. But I just don't know. I don't understand. The idea is so complex. And I don't know what it would take. I know I would like to boycott when things don't happen. I would like to do that. But I'm about to move, and Amazon got a lot of stuff. I listen. I want to be a part of this. I just don't know how boycotting looks in this current culture because
Hmm.
boycotting was easy as fuck back in the 60s. Oh, we ain't gonna run around there to the diner. We ain't gonna run around there to the bus. Y'all only have three places to go.
Right.
So it was a lot easier to boycott in the 60s and in the 50s.
Oh yeah.
I
So much
don't know
has
what it
changed
looks like,
since
and I
then.
know it's hard. And I want to be a part of the change and the shift, and I don't know how to do it. I don't.
Hmm. It's been, you know what the thing about it though, Jeremy, is that I totally agree with you where you're coming from with that because so much has changed since then. So much has changed.
Hmm.
You have
Yeah.
a lot of people online shopping now is very prevalent. It wasn't then back then. And then also too, you have you have so much more of stores, different stores, uh, than you did back then. I think, like you just said, you probably only had maybe three, maybe two different stores at that time, and they were all you of course you had like your grocery stores, you had your retails, and then you had your other little mom and pop stores, whatever. And
Hmm.
that was that. But in this current situation, you think about it too. You also have social media now.
Yeah.
Back then, you didn't have that back then. Now, as far as with this, like here's one thing that I wanted to show too. Now, this was powerful. This past weekend with Al Sharpton in, and we can actually go over this. This was powerful at Costco. He was able to get us to come in droves to Costco to be able to get a membership at Costco. This was a powerful thing this past weekend, and I believe this was in New York, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's be clear. People was already around to the Costco. Like, people was already at Costco. So I
Right.
do think that this is good. Don't no shade,
Hmm.
Pastor. No shade, Reverend Doctor Al. I do think that this is performative too. I do think so. Okay, so what now? What's the call to action? What's the action plan? And I honestly, if I can be transparent with you
Hmm.
right now in this moment, I feel so pussy. Like, I feel so frightened because I just don't have the answers. Like, I
Right.
feel so like, am I just unwilling to do what it takes to get this done? Like,
Hmm.
and then part of me is like, you don't want to do what it takes. You know what it'll take, but you just don't want to do it. And the
Right.
other part of me is saying, like, you leaving Facebook and Instagram will not impact those platforms in any way. And I'm like, is that just another voice in the back of my head to stop us from doing something that will matter? I just
Hmm.
don't know. These ideas are so, again, back to what we were saying earlier. I feel like a goddamn X-Man. Why every day gotta be fighting and turmoil and anguish and pain? Like, I don't want this for us. I'm tired. I want to enter an era of peace where people just do and act right. I don't know. I'm so exhausted.
Trust me,
I'm
I
a
totally get it.
millennial. So I've been fighting every day of my life. And
Right.
I'm tired. I'm the fuck tired.
Trust me, I totally get where you're coming from on that because it's like a constant struggle. It's a constant struggle of good versus evil every single day. And it's been like that ever since that orange thing came down that golden escalator. It's
I
been
mean,
like,
it's been before him because be conscious of the people who want to appear to be doing right versus actually doing right. And that is 80% of these companies. It's 80% of these politicians. It's 80%. If everybody was doing right like they believe they were, they are, we would not be in this position.
right.
We have to stop these performances from our people in leadership. It's not yielding any results.
No, it's not. It's not. And Congress is not doing anything. It's a lame duck Congress right now, even though as Republicans have taken over and they're not doing anything. They not have done anything to pass anything towards groceries, rent, or anything like that.
Let me
The
tell
cost
you
of
what I
living is
like
still
about
high.
Donald Trump. And I never told you this, but I'm going to
Hmm.
tell you.
Hmm.
And there's a few things that I actually like about his ideas. It's about 10% of the 100% of the things that are,
Hmm.
that he says, because everybody ain't all bad and everybody ain't all good.
Right.
But I like that he's such a blatant piece of shit. I like that he's such an arrogant. I know who he is. I know what I'm getting. I know that he's an idiot. I know that he has charisma. I know that he has a following. I know what I'm getting. You get what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
Versus all of these performers in Congress who
Hmm.
nobody knows what they're getting. They don't know. Because
No,
if we knew, we wouldn't elect them. I
you better
just
say that
don't
again.
know how to move when people aren't being transparent. One thing I like about Donald Trump, he is overt in explaining who he is and what he plans to do. And I can respect that.
But it seemed like nobody even understood that when he was talking about all last year about what he was going to do, and everybody did say, "Oh, he's not going to do that. Oh, that he's just lying. He's just talking." And I was like, "No," because back in 2016 when he said he was going to do something, he did it. And that's where I was like, "No, he means what he's going to say." And
And
here
the
we are.
truth of the matter is, now half of the shit he said he was going to do, he didn't do. And the other half of the shit he said, you got to remember, he's a performer at essence too. He
Hmm.
said he was gonna build a wall. He ain't built a motherfucking wall. He ain't said, like, it's just like he's performative too. You know what I mean? So, but at the core of who he is, he's telling us what the fuck is up. He's saying it.
That's true. That is true. I
So
mean,
I can't do nothing but respect the person who has the decency to tell me who they are and what they planning on doing.
exactly.
You know,
That is
it's
true.
it's the people who don't think he's going. And somebody said this today, and I respect it. They were like, "Oh, he doesn't mean that. He isn't really going to do that. He didn't." Why are you voting for somebody then who you believe ain't gonna do what they said they gonna do? Why are you?
You see the contradictory in that?
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. But we cannot argue against sycophancy.
Right.
We cannot rationalize against people who don't have any real sensibility when it comes to just their love and adoration for him. They're going to
Exactly.
excuse everything. And the worst part about this administration, they're going to do all this crazy shit. And then when it goes to hell, they're going to blame somebody else.
They're gonna blame the Democrats like they
Yeah,
always do.
they're going to blame. Yeah, they just going to say, well, it wouldn't have happened if she didn't. And they didn't. No, it was you. It was you. It was you.
Exactly, exactly. Well, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next topic, and our next topic kind of goes into this thing as well about what Tabitha said. And now this is a topic that I really wanted to dig into with what Tabitha Brown had said. And I'm at the point now with this one is, you know, do we not or do we do, you know? So this has been the biggest question. So we're going to go ahead and play a little bit of what she said, and then we're going to go and dissect and then answer that question. What do we do in this sense? Okay, here it is.
Their own products, right? But the thing that concerns me the most, and I want you to hear me and hear me
Can you hear
well,
me?
Yeah.
I
if
can't
we
hear
all
nothing. It's
decide
crazy.
to stop
Am I supposed to be
supporting
able to hear
said
something?
businesses and say, I
I
can't buy
watched it on
nothing
the
from
This is
there, even
bizarre. I have
the
no idea.
businesses who were affected by the DEI ban, right? What that does is you take all our sales and they dwindle down. And then those companies get to say, oh, your products are not performing. And they can remove them from the shelves and then
Man, I
put
miss
their
my dog.
preferred businesses on the shelves.
Can you
And
still
then
hear
what
me?
happens to all the
I
businesses
get
who've worked
so-called
so hard to
notifications. I
get
don't
where
know
they are?
what that be like.
Then what happens, right? Now, I know
Mhm.
that something that could solve it is
I
ownership
watched this
of
video, so
these
I know
big
what she's saying.
corporations, right? It's a long way to go there. There are amazing companies like the Village Market in Atlanta, right, who support small businesses, and you can go in there and there's some amazing things that you can buy. But it's one store and it's very small. We're talking about mass market.
I don't know.
You can't build that overnight. Do we all sometimes have these big dreams and aspirations to do that? Absolutely. Right? But it is easier said than done. But it's not impossible.
Okay, so like I said, we only play a little bit of that. That video was like 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
So that's where I was like, yeah, we're not doing 7 minutes of that. So for this to me, um, I want to ask you, Jeremy. We're gonna start off with you with this one because I would have.
Oh, no. No. I got something fucked up to say. I don't know.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Listen, I love my Auntie Tab. I love her down. I went to Target because I got a Target red card and I use it
Mm,
all the time. I'm almost at my limit. Like that's how much I fuck with Target. I could go somewhere cheaper and get the stuff that I need, but I love that they support black businesses.
mhm,
And I'm willing to pay a little more to do those things.
mhm,
Because I know that DE&I is full of shit, I feel a duality about this topic. I don't think that they were doing anything with the DE&I as we went in full detail earlier in this video about. So
mhm.
I think that that's fair. However, my Auntie Tab, I have to say how I really feel and what I think. I think you kind of being pussy too. I think you don't know what to do, Auntie. I think you making a lot of money with Target. I know you know that Target helps a lot of people. I know that you care about those people. I think that you're scared because you don't want to say or do the right things. I
Right.
know that you're a woman of faith and you let your spirit and God lead you when you're making decisions of this nature. I can only imagine how you feel because I know you've grown a relationship with this company. I think that you have a responsibility to call them on their bullshit. And I do not feel like you did that enough or in an impactful way.
No.
I I feel like you was just like, yo, you got to do what's best for you. But there's a lot of people that Target is putting on, so I'm still gonna fuck with them.
Yep.
That's not the Tabitha I mean, I don't know that lady. I just feel like I know her and I love her. This is the first thing where I can really say I just don't agree with her. And I think that's okay. That's okay for us
It
to not
is.
agree. But I think it's a little pussy. I think it's not like, and excuse me, that's the Detroit in me. It's a little fearful. Um, and rightly so. I'm gonna pray for Tabitha because I know how it feels to stand out there alone
Mm-hmm.
in your conviction and have people come at you so hard about it. I wish her the best. I think she being pussy. That's it. That's all. That's all I got. I ain't got no more.
So I want to say this about this whole situation because I did see in there that she said that her brands are not just in Target; they're like Walmart and Amazon as well. So my thing is, you still have your products in a lot of companies that have rolled back their DEI programs. And there was another lady that she had her products in Target as well. But you know what she told everybody? She said, I'm not going to tell you not to support to not boycott Target. She said, I'm not going to tell you to boycott Target. She said, what I am going to tell you, you have a choice. She said, because you can either shop in my products at Target, or you can get my products on online on my website, or you can go to I think she said somewhere else. And I like what she said, because she was like, I'm not going to sit here and try to make up your mind for you like how Tabitha was doing. She's not trying to be selfish about what the agenda is.
This
And
is Tabitha you talking about, right?
no, it was another lady that had her products also in Target as well,
Mm-hmm.
along with Tabitha. And
Yep.
she was saying the same thing. She was like, my products are in Target. She said, I wouldn't want you to not, I wouldn't want you to boycott, but it's your choice to boycott. And she said, you can still buy my products online, um, as well on her website. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Why Tabitha? I'm like, Tabitha, why don't you have a website that people can purchase your stuff at? But then she said that she does not have an area where she could store all of her product. And I'm like, but what were you doing before you got aligned with Target? Because that makes me ask that question. What were you doing before? How was you selling your product? Because you had to start from somewhere.
I done told you what I feel ad nauseum. I think that everybody is so scared to say the wrong thing.
Hmm.
I think that that's even more pussy to not take a stand.
Right.
Take a stand. Say how you feel. I'm telling you right now, I think Target is full of shit. I think they ain't never had no real agenda to implement no DE and I at a level that it really matters. So
Right.
it doesn't matter. Um, I'm gonna be shopping at Target. I'm gonna be shopping at Target, and I'm gonna be shopping down to the Amazon. I'm gonna be going down there. I'm telling you, because I don't want to play in your face. I don't want to do what they doing, and tell you that I will not do those things when I totally plan on doing it.
Look, you being real and you being true to the game. You're not gonna sit here and say that
Now,
you're not gonna
now
do something
if
when you're
there
doing it.
was an action plan in place, And I feel like we could collectively come together and make an impact because there's not enough of an action plan for me. If we had somebody of that notable status like Beyonce or Rihanna, if
Mm-hmm.
one of those mothers came out and said, we ain't fucking with them no more, then I wouldn't fuck with them. And I'm not
Exactly.
waiting on somebody else to tell me to do something. But though I'm being honest in my stand, I'm gonna keep fucking with it because I don't feel like them losing my $3 ain't gonna really sit. It ain't gonna put no kind of wrench in the machine. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
just
I
gonna make
totally
me
agree.
suffer.
Well,
And
you
I
know
done
they're
did
doing a
enough suffering. I just told you I'm tired of fighting.
well, you know they're doing a big boycott this weekend. I think it's on the 1st
Now I
at
could do a
Target.
weekend. If we come together to do a weekend, I can do a weekend. But I can't. I'm telling you right now, I can't do no indefinite boycott of Amazon. I can't do it. I'm telling you how I feel. I can't speak for
Yeah,
nobody
they're
for me. As for me and my house, we gonna prime. As for me and my house, we gonna red card. And I feel like we focused on the wrong shit. It's always distraction. It should have never been like, okay, DE and I is rolled back. It should be, what has DE and I done for me lately anyway? That is the root.
exactly. That is definitely the root of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like I said again, I know that boycott is going on Saturday.
Who set that up?
For those that I have no idea, but it's been going around and folks are with it. A lot of people are like, we are boycotting on Saturday.
Who they boycotting again? Target.
Target. Yep.
Okay, let me see. Let me see now. If we boycotting on the
Look,
weekend, I could do that. I could stand in
I'm sending you
solidarity
the look.
with my people for a Saturday boycott. Amen. And
Look, I'm
then I
sending
don't
I'm
think
sending
we
you I'm sending
understand the impact that could have because a merchant losing income like that. Let's be clear. Target was already struggling just a tad. And when I say struggling, these
hmm
companies ain't never really struggling, but by their own margins, they kind of struggling. You know what I mean? By
exactly.
them missing out
Exactly.
on that money for a day, that could shift some things. I honestly think Target pussy anyway. I think they gonna reverse this or do something anyway. That's who they are. Remember when those people was running down to the trans kids' clothes and all that? Target took the clothes out. Target is very pussy. They gonna retract some shit. They will
No.
definitely redo something. But I want you to
Oh
know
yeah.
when they do it, and mark my words, I want you to know when they do it, it won't matter because DE&I never was impactful anyway. It doesn't matter.
Right. Right. And that goes back exactly to what it was.
Hmm.
And that was my biggest thing with the DEI. So I sent it to your phone, that flyer. So
Oh, okay.
you'll see that it was, yep, that is official.
Who made this down
This is
on the
what was
Canva? Where you get this from?
somebody had sent that to me. And it was all on social media this past week.
Well, it's a starting February 1st.
Yes.
Now I can give y'all February 1st. I don't know about after that. Like I can give y'all that Saturday. I'm down for that Saturday.
Right. Cause
That's it.
you know that what's the funny part is, those tariffs that Trump has been talking about, they start on February 1st as well.
Can I tell you something? And it's bad. It's real bad,
Yeah.
Chris. It's so bad. I
What's
want
that?
him to tear this motherfucker up. I want Trump to tear this motherfucker up. You hear me? Because I'm a black gay man living in America. Every president has been Trump to me. I say that all the time. I don't know shit but surviving. I don't know nothing about it. I don't know nothing but surviving. So it's bringing out this whole new thing and this whole new evil. But shit, that ain't no evil we ain't been dealing with. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want Trump to tear this motherfucker up. Do you hear me? I want him to tear it up. Start from the rooter down to the tutor. Tear it down. Because this is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. Give these hoes what they want. Okay? And then, let me tell you my favorite part about all this. I'm about to tell you right now.
Yeah.
When those people realize that the only thing that matters is money. When I say this all the time, you know I do. It's never about black or white or any of this stuff, gay or straight. It's always about the 1% versus the 99. It's about the dollar. And when these poor white folk get wind that he don't exactly give a fuck about them either, tear this motherfucker up. Okay? Just make sure I got me some good Tabitha brown popcorn from the Target. Because she got a good garlic popcorn down. I'm telling you.
I ain't never had her popcorn. It's good.
The popcorn good. That shit good. She got another flavor too. I love my Auntie Tab. I support her. I buy her stuff from Target. But I want to see, and this could be the Scorpio in me, the chaos lover in me. I want to see the look on their faces when they realize that their king is the jester. I want to see it. I want to see it. Tear this motherfucker down.
Look, my thing is at the end of the day, as long as I'm out of here danger, look. And then you know what's the funny thing is? I'm going to say this because I now it's a full scope of what I see that he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know when he got those Jan 6ers out, when he got them out, you know he's building his own private personal army because he cannot control the United States Army.
No.
They are not going to bend to his will. So he released the Jan 6ers so he can have his own private army because they're going to bend to his will. And they're going to do what he wants.
Tear it down, okay? Because let me tell you, from the ashes, something that we can actually be included in could be sparked. We are not ever going to be included in this system as it stands today. So tear this motherfucker up. I don't care. My ancestors we didn't slave for y'all. We didn't fought y'all. We didn't fought for y'all. We done did everything that we can do under the sun to try to be a part of this American fabric. You will not include us. So tear the motherfucker up.
It's funny that you said, because I want you to listen to this video and tune into it on if you can, do it on YouTube. Listen to it on YouTube. This lady said, she hit it perfectly of what she said. So let me know if you can see it when I put it up. Okay. Because she definitely hit this perfectly. You ready?
Yep. I know I ain't gonna be able to see it.
You could do it. I told you go on your phone. You got the thing,
YouTube
right?
is delayed, so when I'm on there, it's like 2-minute delayed.
But anyway, I'm gonna play it, and I gotta play this because what she said is so true. Okay.
America was started as a business. It's not about your freedom. It's a business. So we're sitting up begging these white men to give us rights. No, affect their money. That's why white men change stuff. Segregation ended because of the Montgomery boys boycott, because the city of Montgomery almost went bankrupt because of an 18-month boycott. These white men all of a sudden didn't change their minds. Abraham Lincoln did not free enslaved people because he felt like he needed to do this. He did it to cripple the South economically. Anytime they've done anything, it wasn't to help us because we were humans. It was to mess up another white man's money. So we don't get rights until we mess up a white man's money. That's it. And until they see us as human beings, we have to mess their money up. That's it. America was a thing. And until they see us as human beings,
Yes,
they mess their money up.
I love what she just said. I love what I love what she just said. She hit that on the, right there on the money. Are you muted, Jeremy?
Give her the big piece of chicken.
Yeah.
Give her the big piece of chicken. She was spitting hot fire. Dollar, dollar, and dollar. Who the fuck is that? I like her. Give her
I need to
all
find
the
out.
things.
Yeah, she hit that on the money what she said because it is the truth. It is the truth.
Yep.
Hit them where it hurts, and that is in the wallets and in their purses.
Give her the things, because that's the truth. And that's the sad part about it. Remember I told you none of this matters. They gonna talk about trans, and they gonna talk about immigrants, and they gonna talk about
Mhm.
this and that, and all of this to keep you distracted from their hands being in your pocket. They're
Mhm.
going to keep you distracted. Remember, they banned TikTok because people was making money on TikTok. Nobody convince me differently. That's the reason why they did that before they gave us a comprehensive medical plan. Like that, you can't convince me differently. They banned TikTok because of that.
No,
That's the truth.
and that's true. That is
Mhm.
very true. That is
But
very, very true.
it just
It came out of the thing about it is, and that's the reason why they do want to take it over because they're claiming that it is the China is taking all of our data, quote unquote.
yep.
Um, and the thing about it is, if you heard Trump what he said we don't mind China having a stake in it, but we also want a stake in it too. So basically, what you just said right there, Jeremy, is they want to put their hand in the pot too because they want to make the money off of it too as well.
Well, that's very true because okay, TikTok is collecting data every time that you interact with the platform, even when you're not interacting with it. It's collecting data
Hmm.
from the other apps that you utilize, even if you ask it not to track. It's collecting data on you. What they're not telling you
Hmm.
is it's collecting just as much or less data than the rest of the apps. Facebook and Instagram and all of the other apps down to the Sheen. Everything that we
Hmm.
utilize on these traps, our cell phones, is collecting data on you. The problem that they have is China has much stricter authoritarian laws. If the president of China wake up today and say, "Give me all that shit, and we about to do this and did it," which they probably already have. We don't know. we don't. We wouldn't be privy to
Right.
that. Um, they. That's what they claim to be worried about, but they're not. They're not telling you that every 3 days it's a major data breach from
Yep.
Target, from Instagram, from Experian, from all these other places. It's a major data breach. So what makes Xi Jinping different from Experian? Because like they told you, he's shown you time and time again that he's willing to work with anybody as long as it's beneficial for him. What make you think he won't work
Exactly.
with China?
That is true.
China.
That is true. That is so true.
Mm-hmm.
You know, tonight has been a really good show. I know we didn't get a chance to do the Karen Huger, whatever her name is, topic. We'll probably say that for next week. But this has been a really great show this evening, due to what's been going on
Mm-hmm.
in the past week or so. I just feel like this week it feels like it has been a much longer week than usual, and we are only on Tuesday. Um,
That's because we tired, friend.
yeah, yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is.
We
It's
spiritually tired. And I would challenge you to care for yourself
yeah,
because we
yeah.
got a long road ahead of us.
Look, we literally look. A lot of folks already counted this year out. They already said, "Look, we got 3 more years of this man, if not longer, if Congress don't bend to his will and give him another term." Um,
That is wild. That man that is wild.
it is. I guarantee you, if they did that, I was already planning on leaving. But that right there, I'm out the door. At that point, I'm out the door. Um, I don't want to go through no more of this. What we've been going through over the past week. That feels like it's already been a full year already. That's why a lot of people are not even counting this year anymore for him. They're already saying we got 3 more years of this. Because it already felt like a full year. And people's mental capacity can't really take no more of this every single day type stuff. I ask all of our viewers, you know, do your best to, keep your mental space at will. Don't bend to his will because that's what he wants. He's trying to break us. That's the reason why he does this each and every single day.
Mm.
Um, he is really trying to get us to bend the knee. And the only way to make someone bend the knee is by breaking them down bit by bit by bit. And that is the way to get somebody to bend. And I'm not gonna bend. I don't bend to anybody. I don't bend to no man. The only person I bend to is God. Other than that, I'm not bending to anybody, especially not somebody look like that looks like trash. I mean, my God, look at the man. I mean, why would I want to bend to this? Why would I want to bend to that? Like,
Not look
why?
at the man.
I mean, it looked like something that just melted.
Look at
Like,
the
I
man.
don't. Terrible skin job. Terrible skin. Ill built. Definitely out of shape.
Um,
Um.
I think we forget how fragile our democracy is and what we have here is.
Hmm.
And every civilization we know has fallen or
Yes.
is experienced some impact. America is not exempt from that, and I am frightened about what that means. I'm frightened.
The framers didn't build this country to the best of its ability. If they would have taken, I I look at this. It was so many loopholes in the framing and building of this country. So many
Mhm.
loopholes,
Yeah.
and left it very vulnerable. Very. Any president, which I'm surprised that didn't until now, could have bent all those loopholes, been bent it, and this country would have fallen because of those loopholes that are inside of the Constitution. And it's sad that it took someone that was as ignorant as this individual to be able to do it. Um, I can't believe it. And just like what you just said, Jeremy, it also states in the Bible that many empires will fall and new ones will rise. Well, while that's been happening, China has been building their influence across the world. They have met with Mexico. They've been building relations with Mexico. They've been building relations with the people in the Panama Canal. They have been building relations with Africa, with countries in Africa. They
Hmm.
have been building their influence. And while Trump is so busy decimating this country, we have lost so much credibility for our country. If somebody was to say attack us, none of our allies are going to come to our rescues.
Well, to
Not
be
one.
fair, none of them could. Like outside of
Hmm.
the United Kingdom, like none of them could. You got to remember, we the big dog,
Yeah.
and if the big dog go down, All the other little dogs is gonna start sniffing. But I don't want to end it like that. There's always hope.
Right.
There's always hope that that people will do right and see things for what they are. I believe in hope. I believe that we are better than we think we are. And
Hmm.
I have to say that my faith in that was shaken when Kamala lost greatly.
Yes.
But I am finding my way slowly back to hope. I'm not
Exactly.
there
You know what?
yet,
And I
but
am.
I've not given in.
I'm with you, Jeremy, on that. I am definitely building myself up with hope as well, and I'm being very optimistic. Unfortunately, with the foolishness that we get every day, but at the end of the day, we still have each other. We all still
Yeah.
have each other, and even though I know sometimes um, we're not all together all the time. We're not unified all the time. But when it comes
Mhm.
down to it, when it comes down to where we really are going to have to depend on each other, I guarantee you that we will come together and be one. I guarantee you we will.
Amen.
And when that time comes, I'm going to be right there with all my brothers and sisters, ready to make sure that we are going to be locked armed and ready.
Yes. Well, it has
And on
been a
that note,
wonderful discussion tonight. It really has
it
been.
has. Tonight has been good. And we want to thank all of our viewers for tuning in to another edition of Extraordinary Unplugged. Um, please, 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 please make sure that you subscribe, like, and share our channel, The Extraordinary Network, on YouTube. You can also follow us on Facebook, The Extraordinary Network. You can also follow us on Instagram, Extra Unplugged as well. And we want to tell you to all of our viewers, please, please stay faithful, stay hopeful, and never resist. Never, never resist. We must continue to fight. And to my brother Jeremy, until next week, I hope that you have an amazing, amazing rest of your week and
You
stay
as
extraordinary
well.
as always. Thank
You
you,
as
thank you,
well.
thank you.
Have a good night.
And to our viewers, we'll see you guys also next week as well.
Yeah.
And until then, have a very extraordinary night.